Welcome, everyone, to the 2024 Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I'm Tim Crompton. For those of you who don't know me, I have the pleasure of serving as the athletic director here. And I'd like to recognize our president, Brad Mortensen, for his attendance tonight. Not only his attendance tonight, but his daily investment into our institution and into athletics in particular. And it does matter, matters a lot. So special thanks to Paul Grua, Darren Hogue, Alan Farron and his whole crew, our Hall of Fame committee members for all their hard work in the induction or in the process of deciding who's going to be inducted each year. And a special thanks though to, I don't see her, is Carrie in here? Probably not, because this is what she does, she hides. So Carrie Robinson, our Wildcat Club coordinator, and she is an exceptional individual and certainly never wants to take any credit for the work that she does do. So of course she's not in here right now. But without her love and passion for Weber State, then I don't think that this would be as memorable of an experience for everybody who attends, and certainly for the inductees each year. So thank you, Carrie, outside in the hallway. I mean, I think that it goes without saying that we take a lot of pride in, I gotta put my glasses on so I don't miss any names. Take a lot of pride in the remarkable accomplishments and achievements of every one of our Hall of Fame inductees. You know, Dick Weber, Tim Toone, MaCauley Flint, Sariah Long. Don't want to forget the last one, Joel Bolomboy, because he's not here, but I know we're going to have some video for him. Your time when you were here at Weber State, your accomplishments, maybe at the time that you were here, didn't maybe think that you would be sitting here years later and being inducted into the Hall of Fame. But how you carried yourself when you were here, and the dedication, the work ethic, just really just the spirit that you showed while you were here, has a lot to do with you being inducted tonight, not just the things that you did when you were competing, just the things and how you carried yourself when you weren't competing. And I think that you've inspired a lot of people while you were here competing, and I think that, like I was telling Tim just a little while ago, or a few minutes ago, that I tell stories about you all the time. They're crazy stories, but I still tell them. And so you inspire people that you don't even know about. It's a special thing to be in our Hall of Fame. I think that it gives us the opportunity not just to celebrate the inductees each year, but it gives us an opportunity to celebrate and at least mention what Weber State athletics is about and the excellence that we look for at Weber State. And most importantly, probably, well, equally as important, it gets everybody in the room the opportunity to thank your families, your coaches, your teammates, the Weber State Wildcat community, because without those individuals, then I don't know that you make it to the point that you are, or you have the success that you had while you were here. And so this is as much about those individuals as it is about yourself, and we're all really excited to hear some of the things you have to say. And once again, congratulations to all of our inductees. From here on out, you now can officially call yourselves Hall of Famers. Like, you can walk around and say, yeah, I'm in the Hall of Fame, right? And I hopefully you wear that and you talk about that with great pride. Your name and your plaque will be up in the halls of the D Event Center, and there's a lot of people that walk by and look at those, and so forever known, after tonight, you'll be Hall of Famers. And enjoy your dinners, and then we'll let Paul Grua, our Director of Communications, come up and MC it from there. And go Wildcats, and welcome to the Hall.
All right, everyone, we're going to get started. Please feel free to continue to eat and enjoy the food and mingle, but we're grateful to get this started. And once again, thank you, and welcome tonight to our 2024 Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame ceremony. I'm Paul Grua, Director of Athletic Communications, as Tim Crompton said, and I'm grateful to be here too. This is one of the highlights of my job. As part of my job is kind of the historian, I guess, of Weber State Athletics, and that's something that I love. I've been coming to games for a long, long time, and love the history that we have at Weber State. And tonight we're going to celebrate that history as well. There are 151 individuals and 2 different teams that have been inducted into the Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame. That's a pretty small number. That's a pretty exclusive group. And so tonight we're going to add 5 more to that. So that is certainly a great honor. In fact, we probably have, I know we have a few. Are there any current members that are in the Athletics Hall of Fame? If you'll stand up. There's got to be a couple. Maybe there's just Brad Larson. Okay. Well, congratulations to Brad. That's good. As Tim mentioned, our Hall of Fame is at the D Event Center. It's different. The last couple of years, it has changed from where it used to be. It's in the South Concourse of the D Event Center. It's on both sides of the concourse. There's plaques there. So the plaques that we'll get, those will go up there. You'll be ready to go for the basketball season that will come up here shortly. And you'll be able to go there and see your plaque there, which is a great honor as well. And we also have a website on our athletics page for the Hall of Fame, too, that we'll keep up there. And so you'll be able to tell your family that they can Google you and find that you're a Hall of Famer. So that'll be cool, too. As Tim mentioned, thank you to Kerry Thompson and Alan Fair and Robert Casey and all the others that have helped with the Hall of Fame ceremony, and also to our Hall of Fame committee for their help as well. So again, tonight we have the opportunity to get that started, to induct 5 honorees tonight, and they all come from a different variety of sports and backgrounds and experiences, but they all have the opportunity to share their memories and stories tonight. We're excited to hear from you all. Tonight, our first honoree is Richard Dick Weber. Let's give him a round of applause. Let me just say a couple things before he comes up here tonight. He's receiving our Reed K. Swenson Award, which celebrates individuals who have made significant impacts in the community, as well as athletes, donors, administrators, coaches, trainers, managers, etc., that have been associated with Weber State, and he fits into a couple of those categories. He's an Ogden native and a Weber State alum. He was a member of the ski team at Weber State in 1956. Look, here's some great photos of him. 1956 and 57, he was the captain of the Weber State ski team. Back then in the junior college days. One of the memories that was in the bio that was shared with us was a win over the University of Utah, which included his longtime friend Spence Eccles, right? And who's a fellow Ogden High graduate as well. So that's pretty cool. If you're a skier, if you've done any skiing in this Ogden area, I'm pretty sure that you've been impacted by Dick Weber, and you may not have known it, but you have, for all that he has done. Really a distinguished professional career in real estate, in skiing as well. Among his work was organizing the first ski racing school at Snow Basin, as well as helping to design the downhill course that was for the Olympics in 2002 at Snow Basin. And then he got back into competitive skiing at the age of 74 and competed quite a bit. And he's going to probably talk about some of these things, and skied 74 miles an hour in a race. That's pretty impressive at any age as well. To win a silver medal in his age category, very, very impressive. It's a great honor for us to honor Dick Weber for his lifelong dedication and contributions to our community and to Weber State. And so now let's hear from our newest inductee into the Weber State Hall of Fame, Dick Weber.
Well, I want to start by saying that I had a dream last night, and in that dream, I was on a bald mountain, gloom snow. Gloom snow means it's very, very packed and very nice, very steep. The moon was shining down, and I said, "This is steep hill." I thought, well, I'm going to cut loose. And there's nothing like skiing on a pair of skis on a great hill. And the excitement of that There's none like it, except right behind it is riding my low-slung motorcycle down a road, a mountain road, by myself, nobody around, the wildflowers, the beautiful scenery, and I thought, nobody around, so I hit the throttle. As you know, motorcycles can go fast. I like speed. So I hit the motorcycle, and away it went. I don't know how fast I was going. Anyway, I want to start by saying that I have a speech problem, it's a muscle problem, and I'll do my best, okay? President Mortensen, faculty, fellow inductees, Wildcat members, friends and family, I am honored to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you for coming. My college education began at Weaver College, living just a few blocks from the new campus, 4 buildings in all. How things have changed. A new great university with an amazing campus, nestled in the foothills of the Wasatch Mountains. I was fortunate to have been offered a ski scholarship and participate in the ski team, which was coached by my dear friend and mentor, Earl Miller. Our team won the Junior College Regional Championships. That was a big win. Among the teams were Montana, Boise, Idaho, and other teams. We have the front page. We were on the front page of the Standard Examiner. We even competed against the University of Utah. My 2-year graduation and career at Weber led me to another ski scholarship at Denver University. They were the dominant NCAA team for many years. I was running an NCAA downhill race on the new downhill course at Snow Basin, and Denver's acclaimed ski coach, Willie Sheffer, saw me race and saw my time, and he asked Earl Miller about me, and soon I was offered a full ride scholarship. I raced on that team until I graduated. My Weber beginnings really cemented skiing in my life. In fact, our entire family has skied and raced at Snow Basin for generations, from me to our 4 sons, grandsons, and granddaughters. This past winter, we have 3 great grandchildren on the podium at Snow Basin, winning Pee-wee races at Snow Basin. I have a step-granddaughter, Julie Mancuso, who was on the U.S. Olympic team and has won many medals, including gold. She's a world champion. She grew up skiing and racing with Lindsey Vonn. We all know who she is. Our son, Steve Weber, sitting right down here, was a member of the Weber ski team. And he also made the junior national ski team, which is a very high honor, right below the Olympic team in those days. Such fond memories. We have been a skiing family. All my 4 sons are excellent ski racers and skiers. Upon returning from graduating at Denver University, I organized the first ski racing school at Snow Basin. Young kids who loved to ski We were all volunteers. The kids paid $15 and received free lift passes. They were peewees up to 18 years old. We held our meetings at the old Gwandy Inn at Celebration. I had great support from fathers, even the mothers, knitting matching ski sweaters for the team and the racing school. The school grew to over 100 young athletes, and we traveled to Jackson Hole, Sun Valley, Bogus Basin, Park City, and other resorts. Some great skiers came from that school. Lots of work, but fun and rewarding. I was able to help with cutting and revising the downhill course at Celebration, which was designed by Bernard Lucy, a world champion skier and course designer. I also was able to help with the development of Park West Ski Resort. One of my great experiences was skiing with my 4 sons and Stein Eriksson, a world champion skier racer from Norway, who won all the gold medals. Before he won those before he moved to America. And with the gesture of skiing at Deer Valley. We were skiing and cruising, and he stopped and looked at me. And remember, he's Norwegian, and said to me, "Dick, how can we be so lucky? We have the most beautiful valleys," and we could see the valleys all the way over to Eden, over to Mount Timpanogos. We were right on top of the mountain. We had this beautiful valley below in the blue sky, and the greatest snow on earth, and the way we went. I was a candidate for the FIS World Championship team, and a candidate for the Olympic team at Squaw Valley in 1958 and 59. I skied in many national ski tryout races. Later on, I came out of retirement and trained and raced in the Mountain Masters program at Park West, at Park City. The races were held throughout the Intermountain area. One of my best races was the Intermountain Championships held at Big Sky, Montana. I had a second place finish in the Super G for year-round points. Means all the points for the year-round, I had the most points. The races were clocked at an average of 75 miles an hour. Steve might agree with me, might agree. He was there helping me. But I mean, it was fast course. And I was 74 years old at the time. One more great memory, my company was asked to remodel the Olympic Pin building, where Olympic pins were sold and traded on Main Street. Everybody remember being involved with that, trading pins and buying pins. Well, I remodeled that building. And I was also asked to build a media building with over 50 screens, which would take the games to the world, so along with the best technicians and technology in the world. We just had 1 week to complete these facilities. I don't know why it was so short. It was quite the experience, but we made it on time. Julie, my wife Julie, and I are so happy to have been involved in student scholarships at Weber. We have been lifetime alumni members and love to supporting Weber State. The great Reed Swenson was athletic director at Weber State, at Weber, during my years. There he was an outstanding coach, mentor, Hall of Fame member, and friend to many. Judy has been the brick of our family, supporting me and the rest of our family. I love her very much. She's sitting right down here. I'm grateful for my family, our 4 sons, their wives, and 14 grandchildren, plus a growing number of precious greats. I hope that my years at Weber helps instill in each of them a desire for a strong education, a desire to ski, and all the memories that lives well lived. I appreciate all my friends who have supported me through the years. Closing out to mention that Weber State is playing a football game tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Let's all go and support the Wildcats. Go Weber, go Wildcats. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Well deserved, and thank you for that plug for Weber State, for football too. Yeah, very good. Congratulations. Our next honoree is Joel Bolomboy. Joel was a Wildcat, great men's basketball player from 2012 to 2016 at Weber State. Coach Randy Ray, was the coach. He later in Joel's career, he used to describe him. He'd say Joel was kind of like, when he first came, he was kind of like a young colt. You can probably just picture Coach Ray talking about this, right? He was a young colt. He was kind of wobbling around and didn't know what to do and everything, but boy, Joel sure grew out of that, and he improved so much during his time at Weber State. He was a Big Sky MVP, a 2-time Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year, the only one from Weber to do that. He still holds the Big Sky record in rebounds. In fact, he had 1,312 rebounds. That's more rebounds than any player that ever played college basketball in the state of Utah. That's impressive. A lot of rebounds. He's also Weber State's leader in block shots. He helped the Wildcats to 2 Big Sky titles and 2 trips to the NCAA tournament. He was later drafted in the NBA by the Utah Jazz in the second round of the 2016 draft and played 2 years in the NBA. And then he played in Europe. And in fact, he still is playing. He played in Russia for several years, then a year in Greece, and now he's on his second year in Serbia. Joel is not able to be here, obviously, for that reason. He is playing in Serbia. In fact, earlier this week, we had a chance to talk to him, and I was able to interview him a little bit and hear a little bit more about his story. He has certainly grown from when he was a young colt here at Weber State. And he talked more probably in about a half hour as he and I talked than I think he talked during his 4 years that he was here. And I told Joel I'm going to say that because he's going to watch this later. But anyway, he knows that. He really has grown a lot. But he's in Serbia. He just started his season again this week in Serbia. And so we have an opportunity to hear from Joel in a video. So we'll hear from Joel Bolomboy now, a video that he sent in as a new member of the Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame.
Hey, hi guys. Sorry I'm not able to be there in person and accept this and say thank you to you guys live, but I just wanted to take the time out to put together a short little video saying thank you and showing my appreciation to everyone in the men's basketball program and the university and just everyone that was a part of my journey and ultimately helping me make this happen. So first off, I want to say thank you to Weber State University for the incredible honor and for the men's basketball program for just giving me the opportunity to go there on a full ride scholarship and seeing something in me that not many people saw. It's a true honor, like I said, to be a part of this community where not too many people get in. To be inducted into the Hall of Fame is truly, truly humbling to me, and the recognition means a lot. My 4 years at Weber State, when I look back, it was a place where I experienced a lot of growth, a lot of opportunity, and I was able to create a lot of unforgettable memories with a lot of great people. And I'll always feel connected to the university. I honestly can't put into words how appreciative and honored I am to officially go down as one of the all-time greats at Weber State University, and just to be able to go in the books and be a part of the program's legacy. It's funny because over the years I've seen Hall of Fame candidates get inducted, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, did they forget about me? Was I not good enough? And so on. So it's really cool to see my name, and obviously my time has finally came. I want to say thank you to Coach Ray, Phil Beckner, and Coach Duff as well. You know, they had a huge part in recruiting me and ultimately getting me there, showing me the roadmap, and being a part of my success that I had there. And to extend that, you know, I want to extend that thank you to my teammates that I had over the years. There's a lot of coaches that I'm not mentioning here that was a part of my 4-year journey there. There's a lot of teammates that I haven't mentioned that was there. We were able to make history and, you know, just do a lot of things and create special moments. Also want to say thank you to the training staff, Joel Bass, the medical team, and the trainers that worked under him, the team doctors, for ultimately being a part of this journey as well when I was there. Whatever it was, whether I was injured or sick, you know, they had my best interest, and they obviously did everything they could to keep me healthy and get me back out there if I was injured. So just want to say thank you to everyone. Also, thank you to the fans. You know, they supported me. Thank you to the fans and all the local people there, the individuals, just the people who rooted for me those past 4 years and, you know, supported me through the ups and downs and the tough times we had. But, you know, I'm forever proud to be a Wildcat, and it's extremely exciting. So I'm super thankful and grateful. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, Joel. I know he'll watch this later. I know he really wanted to be here. He was bummed that he couldn't be, but well-deserved, and congratulations to Joel Bolomboy, now a member of the Hall of Fame. Okay, our next inductee is MaCauley Flint. Let's give MaCauley a round of applause. MaCauley was a 2-year standout for the Wildcats, made a major impact in her 2 seasons for the Weber State softball team in 2014 and 2015. She is the first. Weber State had softball years ago in the 70s and 80s, and then dropped the sport for a while. Coach Emma Cohn played, she's here tonight, played in those early days, right? Oh, yeah, and then she coached, of course, later. But MaCauley is the first one to be inducted as a softball player since the program was reinstated. It's a great honor. Well-deserved. She was a Big Sky tournament MVP, twice earned first-team all-conference honors, was a school record holder, and led the Wildcats to the NCAA tournament. She finished her career as Weber State's all-time leader in strikeouts with 273 strikeouts in 2 seasons. She's still Weber State's career leader in ERA and ranks in the top 3 in saves and starts. Again, only played those 2 seasons. In the 2015 Big Sky tournament, she was 3-0 with just 4 runs allowed in those 17 innings, and led the Wildcats to their first ever Big Sky tournament title and a trip to the NCAA tournament. And again, the first softball player to be inducted since the program was reinstated. Congratulations, MaCauley Flint, a new member of the Weber State Hall of Fame.
All right, guys, bear with me. This is probably going to be a little bit boring for you all because it's my love letter to the people that got me here. So, gosh, I'm good. Okay. Well, first and foremost, I am so grateful for this honor because I feel like this is the perfect time for me to say thank you to all the people that got me here. And thankfully for you guys, all those people are here, so it's not going to be hopefully too long of a talk. First, I'd like to thank, obviously, the great University of Weber State. I grew up here in Roy, and this community has always meant so much to me. So to come back and to bring some greatness back and to play for this great university means a lot. It gave me the tools and resources to excel and succeed in not only my sport, but my education that serves me to this day. So thank you so much, Weber State. I would also like to thank the selection committee. As you heard before, I was only here at Weber for 2 years. And I know that that's probably not talked about a lot with only 2-year athletes to be in the position that I'm in. So I'm very grateful to all of you that selected me and thought that I was deserving of this title, because I am very, very grateful, and it truly means so much to me. So thank you so much. Next, I would like to thank and commend my fellow Hall of Fame class of 2024. You all are amazing in all your individual sports. And I know it's biased of me to say, but I'm pretty sure that this was the best year Weber State has ever done in Hall of Fame. So congratulations to all of you. As you can see, 24 was my number, so I feel really lucky about this year. And I'm just really grateful to be a part of it and to be a part of it with all of you. So congratulations. It's your night. It's our night. We did it. I feel like I'm like the valedictorian. We did it. Okay, to my teammates, who are still some of my best friends to this day. There's a reason why softball is a team sport. I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have been here without any of them. They made me better. I thank them, I love them, and I appreciate them. They're amazing. They're not here. That's why I'm going to keep it short, but they know who they are, and they're amazing. To Coach Amacone. As you heard, she's not only an amazing coach at Weber State, but she was also an amazing player at Weber State. And I'm sure she's going to be up here in a few years as a Hall of Famer as well. So I was very lucky to be coached by her. Her and her husband, Mark, are still very, very dear to me to this day. That's a tribute to Coach Amacone and the way she coaches. She coaches people to be great on and off the field. Coming here to Weber, like I said, I played for at Slick, and we came here hoping to change a culture. You know, like they said before, Weber State was just kind of getting back into softball, and we wanted to start a legacy. And Coach, I feel really good about our legacy right now, so thank you. But I can't thank this lady enough. Like I said, she's helped me on and off the field. She's one that I'll always be grateful for, and I'm so happy and lucky that she'll be in my life always. However, to this day, I'm correcting this. She followed me to Weber State. I didn't follow her to Weber State, and I will just sign and seal that she came to Weber State with me, not the other way around. So I've heard rumors that you said different. But thank you, Coach, for everything. I love you. I'm so grateful to have been taught by you and to be your friend. So thank you so much. To my support system, to my friends and family, to the community, to my aunts, uncles, cousins, even great-grandparents got to watch me play this sport for this amazing university, and for always supporting me and loving me. I never went unnoticed or unappreciated, and I love you all very, very, very much. To my grandma Nancy, AKA the umpire's worst nightmare. She is, it didn't matter where we were playing. She followed me everywhere. Her and my mom would take little girls' trips, and it would always somehow be where I was playing. And I always knew she was there because I heard her. But I'm so lucky. She's the best. I'm so lucky to have her in my corner. She's the definition of a great support system, and I love her very much. She's here today. My grandpa Eddie, who is a fellow Weber State athlete as well. He is actually still waiting for his call to the Hall of Fame, so he was very upset that I was first in this. He played football here. But he is one of the most loving and kind people that I've ever met. He's such a family person, and he's so supportive and encouraging, and I love him very, 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 very much. Don't let back much bite you, me. To my mom, I feel like it goes without saying. Yeah, my mom's the glue. When I think of what her and my dad went through, they had me at a very young age, and she just puts her head down and gets to work, and she's so hardworking, and she doesn't She doesn't expect any praise or any admiration. She's just a great cheerleader, and she always has been. But I do admire her, and I do love her very, very much. And I wouldn't be here without her. I wouldn't be who I am without her. And I also never went thirsty. In softball, in summer softball, that's very hard to do. But this woman, I swear she had like water or Gatorade on standby. Like it was just, I would get done with the summer softball and I would have like 20 million like bottles coming out of my bag because she was always there, ready to go. She's just been everything. So thank you, Mom. I love you so much. To my brothers, Crew and Knox, right there. Mainly Crew, because Knox wasn't even a thought at this point when I was playing. He's 8 years old, but that's a story for another time. Ask my parents if you want to hear more. I think actually we found out that my mom was having him like right in during regionals of my last year at Weber State. So surprise. Crew taught me what tough was. He was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when he was 2. And a kid going through that and having to be dragged to every softball game, it's tough. But Crew never complained. He was always there. He was always there for me with all the highs of the big wins and all the lows of the hard losses. Crew was a constant. He was always there, and now he and his girlfriend Bailey are always there for me now too. She's the sister I always wanted. So thank you to both of them. And then as for Knox Steele Flint, he wanted me to say his full name so you all knew who he was. He's the 8-year-old. He didn't think you would know who I was talking about without his full name. He is my favorite entertainment. He's crazy in all the best ways, and life would be way more dull without him. I love you 3 so much, and I'm so lucky to be your sister. To my grandma Judy. It's her birthday today, by the way, and she's here supporting me. So that should tell you of the saint that she is, and the selfless lady that she is, that on her day, she's supporting me. The amount of tears this lady wiped from my face during my learning years was a lot. She also used to write me letters before every game, just little quick letters that I'd put in my sock every single game. It wouldn't matter if we were on the road, she'd write me like 4 at a time. No matter how many games we'd play, I always had a note from her in my sock every single game from the time I was in junior high to my last game at Weber State in Louisiana. She's truly a saint on earth, and I'm so blessed she's mine. BSWCT Grammy. I love you most. The end, I win. And happy birthday. I only have a few more, I promise. To my Aunt Mandy, where to begin? Mandy's solid gold. Mandy's the reason I played this game, the reason I love this game. Growing up, watching her pitch, sorry, freaking tears. Growing up, watching her pitch and dominate that circle, idolizing her. She's the reason I'm here. Why I wanted to be a pitcher, because I wanted to be her. She's everything fun and good in this world. She's one of my biggest blessings and one of my favorite people to walk this earth. She's light and she's joy, and she has always made the game how it should be, fun. But I'm still better at stance change-up than you. I'll hold that over you forever. Your girls are so lucky to have you, and I am too. Thank you. I love you so much. 2 more, promise. Next is Stanley. my Papa Stan, Stan the man. Remember those tears I talked about? Probably from him or my dad. Stan demanded excellence, but he also has the ability to see your potential and make you reach it. Stan taught me all I know about pitching, like literally everything. He pitched for Larry H. Miller. He pitched for, I don't know, if Utah had a softball Mount Rushmore, Stan Flint would be on it. Stan, he's helped countless people excel in this sport, including myself. I mean, the man's in his 70s and he's still throwing BP to his granddaughter, and he's still really freaking good. He's crazy. He's electric. Let me see. And he was there every single game, standing by the dugout with my dad, pacing while I pitched. Here we go, one dog, get the lead out, was what he yelled to me every single time I took the mound. Still gives me chills thinking about it. Whenever I'd be going through a hard time or when I'd let the game get bigger than what I thought I could handle, I'd remind myself that I played for them, for my dad and my grandpa, for teaching me how to play the game and play it right. Acknowledging that they weren't going to have to put in all that time, all the hours, the days, the weeks, the months, the years for me not to be great. I'd figure it out for them. I'd win for them, for him. Love you so much, Pops. Thanks for teaching me the game and that killer change. I love you. And lastly, to my dad, my hero, and at times my arch nemesis, especially during some of those high school games. If you know, you know. My best friend from the beginning to the end. My dad taught me how to be great. He taught me how to win. He taught me how to rise to any challenge, to excel, and to be remembered. Not only was he an amazing baseball player himself, he sacrificed his career to be a dad and to be my dad. And he's a damn good dad. You know, in war movies, how there's always the hero to rally the troops, the general, William Wallace in Braveheart, Maximus Decimus Meridius in Gladiator, and Achilles in Troy, and until the end. That was my dad in my movie. As a coach, he could get his team to want to win, to need to win, to be better, not just for us, but for him. He was my favorite part about softball. He was my favorite part, but winning was also my favorite part because I really, really did love to win. Thank you, Dad. I love you. So I stand here today extremely blessed for everyone that paved the way and molded me into the person and player that I am. These words will never be enough to tell you how grateful I am to you or how much I love you, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so honored to be here. And it really is great, great, great to be a Wildcat. Thank you.
Great job, MaCauley. Congratulations. And happy birthday as well to Grandma. Yeah. Congratulations, MaCauley. Our next inductee tonight is Sariah Long. Let's give Sariah a round of applause. Sariah was a 2-time All-American, a 5-time Big Sky champion, and competed in the NCAA championship 6 different times with the Weber State cross country and track and field teams. She was one of the many great distance runners that Weber State has had in its history. She twice earned All-American honors in the steeplechase at the NCAA Outdoor Championships and finished 8th twice in 2007 and 2008 to earn All-American honors. A great accomplishment. She also won the Big Sky title in the steeplechase a couple times, the mile, the 3,000 meters, and as well. In cross country, she also won the Big Sky Championship, and she became just the second individual to win a Big Sky title in cross country at that time, which is a great accomplishment too. Sariah, I'm going to make your husband Nate stand up too. Nate, stand up for just a second. So Nate Long, these two married when they were at Weber State, and Nate competed on the men's track and field team, and he won a Big Sky Championship in cross country as well. And I don't know how many married couples there are out there that can both say they've won a conference championship in cross country. I mean, that's a pretty good power distance couple right there, don't you think? Power running couple for sure. Well, Sariah, congratulations. Let's hear from our newest inductee, Sariah Long.
Well, you guys all make this look really easy because I hate standing in front of people and talking, especially about myself. So that's even worse. I just want to stand before you today and just let you know like how humble I am and so much gratitude to be up here. I know there's so many good athletes that have come through Weber State, and to be recognized as one of them is such a big honor. I was in Lindsay Anderson's shadow for 4 years, 5 if you count when she was professional and still running with us. So my level of where I thought I was at compared to other athletes has always felt like it's been on a bottom level. So I definitely feel very humble hearing all your guys' backgrounds and things that you have done. I'm very grateful to Weber State. My high school coach ran for Columbia, was multiple All-American in cross and track. And he probably pushed the hardest to make sure I got a full ride scholarship to a school. Knowing I wanted to come to Utah, I went to BYU on a cross-country trip in the summer and realized that that place is terrible, and I really don't like their coaches. They were pretty bad, but thankfully I can say they would never have recruited me, and I beat every BYU runner my senior year, and so. I never imagined that starting off my journey in high school that this is where I would be today. I never thought of myself as a really good runner. I just put my head down and worked hard, and that's all I really knew how to do. I want to thank my Heavenly Father first, because that has gotten me through lots of things in my life, and I would be ungrateful if I didn't thank Him first and foremost out of anybody. Many prayers were said before every race, not just for me, but for teammates, and honestly for other competitors. Like, I always wanted everybody to have a good race, and I always wanted to win fairly. I'd like to thank Weber State for giving me the opportunity to get a scholarship, full ride, and to get an academic bachelor's degree. I really am grateful for their support here. It is a really great school who gives you everything. As long as you're willing to work hard for them. I mean, not as willing, because they do it anyways. But they definitely not only molded me to be like a good athlete, but a good person as well. Serving on the SAC committee, which Nate was SAC president, he convinced me to join SAC. That taught me how to serve in my community and to be a better person as well as an athlete. I'd also like to thank my family. My parents have always worked really hard growing up, and I think seeing them do what they did, multiple jobs with 8 kids living in California, is not easy. They taught us to work hard from little, and I look at all my siblings, and I always wonder, how do you get 8 kids to be so successful in everything that they do? And I think it's because they just taught us to work hard and to put our head down and just to grind it out. And it's such a lesson that I hope I can teach my kids. I'm pretty sure I'm failing at that, but someday I do hope I can teach them that. I'd like to thank my in-laws for taking me in. There's been lots of runs where they've dropped me off and picked me up in the Wyoming winds, and my father-in-law was really nice to let me run with the wind and not against the wind. So they've been such a good support since we got married. I'd like to thank my husband, obviously Nate Long, for setting a good example. He never admits to anybody that he ran, so it's pretty rare for people to find out that he ran for Weber State. But yeah, he definitely set the bar. Before he won that race the night before, that was the first time that he said he loved me, so it's probably due to me that he won. Total upset, beat NAU and Seth Pilkington, which you all know is amazing. So yeah, it was a really good year, and he set a course record that year too. I've also come back to set a course record on that same course, by the way. I did terrible that year, but I did good my senior year. Some experiences I thought about while I was at Weber State and what made me who I was my very first race in cross country as a freshman. I was running up in Logan, and I stepped on a nail during the race. I didn't know. I thought it was a rock in my shoe. I remember coming out of mile 1 and saying to Blaisdell, I think I have a rock in my shoe, coach. And he was like, I don't care what you have in your shoe, just keep going. And you better catch 2 more people. So I did, and I came in 3rd behind Lindsay. And I stopped immediately to look down at my shoe and realized I had stepped on a nail and it was coming in and out of my foot during the whole race, right in the ball of my foot. And so I pulled it off and he was like, why didn't you tell me you stepped on a nail? I was like, I'm not even going to respond to that one. So that was my first race. And I think that's just who I am. I'm not going to stop for little things like that. My first real big marathon I won, I had a torn plantar that year and I ran through it and still won Logan Marathon. Another thing that was different, I think a little bit about me, my freshman year also, my first conference meet, we were competing against, NAU, who's obviously really, really good. And I remember going into the DMR as a freshman anchor, and I'm like, you guys, we can win this. We can beat them. And Lindsay and Jamie Pilkington were like, you are so dumb. They're like, do you know who's in our race? And I was like, who? And they're like 2 national champions from NAU. And I'm like, so? Everybody's got a bad day. And they're like, okay, freshman, And so we go out, and of course, they sat on me and then outkicked me pretty brutally. But later on, I came back my senior year in indoor and competing in the mile, which was not on my event. I did it once at the start of the year to qualify, and then I did it at conference for points. So let's just say I do not have any mile experience in this. And I took it out, or we let them take it out. They was slow, so after 400, I was like, okay, I'm just going to take this over. Nobody's taking it. So I took the lead, and NAU just sat right behind me. She had a much better time. She was pretty confident, right? So we're coming around, and in my head, I'm like, she's going to go. I know she's going to go. I have to be ready for this. And so we came up, and I was like, she's going to go at 4. I just know it. So we got to 4. I put on a little surge. She surged with me, side by side. And so I started going, and she kind of backed off a little bit, realizing I was making a surge, probably didn't want to waste a lot of energy. And so I came around the corner, and I was like, okay, now she's going to go again at 200. And so came to the 200 mark, and I put on another surge, and she started surging again. But now we're side by side all the way around the track. And indoor, right? It's loud in there. It gets really loud in there. And that's a total upset to be up there with NAU. Weaver State's going crazy because we don't ever outkick NAU, ever. And so we get towards the end, and we're head to head, and she just led off right at the very end, and I got that win from her, and then came back and did it again in the 3K. And it was the best upset I've ever had against NAU. So I was like, hey, look, as a freshman, I said it was possible. I succeeded my senior year. Did not get athlete of the meet, though, unfortunately. I think it was the first year distance runner did not get it. It was a heptathlete, so good to her. But I think a lot of that stuff just shows what Weber State has taught me. It doesn't matter. There's possibilities everywhere. You just have to believe in yourself. And I tell a lot of athletes, I'm a massage therapist. I do sports massage. And so I work on Weber State athletes here and there that get referred to me. And one thing I like to tell them is, 1, set bigger goals. I never set big goals. I never thought as a freshman I'd be All-American. I never even thought that was in my wheelhouse. I just worked hard and found myself there, honestly. And then 2, I was like, if I can do it, any of you guys can do it. I'm nothing special. I didn't come from a really high pedigree in high school. I wasn't a national champion. I was just a person who worked really hard. And so I like to tell them that. I'm like, have big goals. Believe in yourself. Anything is possible. If I can do what I did, you can definitely do that, if not more, with just a little more belief in yourself. And so I love working on the athletes at Weber State, whether it's soccer, whether it's volleyball, football, running, obviously. We got track and field and cross country. It's been really fun to see the new athletes coming through and to help them get closer to their careers and their goals as well and see their successes. I just like to end with saying that I'm so grateful. I really am grateful to be here today. I'm really ungrateful that I was picked among so many so many good athletes. I joked, when they called me about this, I was like, oh, you don't have anybody else? Like, this at the bottom. And he was like, no, it's a hard process. I was like, I was joking, but but it's true. There's so many good athletes that I know. And to be one of the Hall of Fame is a pretty incredible feat. And I'm so grateful to be up here. And so thank you all for your support. Thank you, Weber State, for the education you gave me in life and, in the books, academically. And I'm just very honored and privileged. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sariah. Well deserved. Our next inductee is Tim Toone. Now, Tim looks a little different now than he did in that picture there. And just because Tim's our last nominee tonight, that doesn't make him irrelevant. But we're glad to have him. He's been picked last before, right, Tim? No, we're glad to have you here. You weren't picked last at all for this one, not at all. Tim was a two-time All-American. He set multiple and still holds multiple school records. He won a Big Sky title. He was drafted in the NFL during his Weber State career with the football team from 2006 to 2009. He still is the all-time leader in career receptions and career receiving yards. And he holds the Big Sky record for the longest punt return, 95-yard punt return as well. He helped the Wildcats in that 2008 team that won the Big Sky title. And he was an All-American that year and also the next year as they went to the playoffs both years as well. And he was selected with the 255th pick in the 2010 NFL draft by the Detroit Lions. That's where he gets the title of Mr. Irrelevant. But he's not irrelevant to us at all. He's now a member of the Weber State Hall of Fame, Tim Toone.
I knew everybody would be disappointed to kind of see me up here because I didn't have the hair anymore. And I guess a couple stories about the hair. One, people probably don't know is, football, probably suffer a lot of brain damage. So the dreads, actually, I stored memories in. So if I forget stuff tonight, it's because of that. And then how they came about, because I didn't have my first year, but all growing up, my dad, he would cut our hair. I don't know why. Anyways, so I got up here. My dad wasn't here. I didn't cut my hair. And then all the receivers ended up having long hair, and we're one time just messing around talking about, oh, hey, this person already has dreads. Let's all just do it. And went to church. First time this lady showed up, she was a hairdresser, knew how to do it for a white person. So I got it done, and then everyone else shaved their heads. So kind of got stuck with it because I was a little superstitious, started doing well. But that's kind of how they came about. And I guess one more thing about them, I guess I'll set the record straight of why I cut them. I always tease my wife that, it was, or tell everyone that it was my wife's fault. It was kind of the deal to marry me. I had to cut my hair and she would do it, but it wasn't that. I needed a change, so no. I just want to say thank you for Weber State, the committee, for kind of recognizing all the time and effort like I put into the sport, gave back to the school. So I'm very thankful for that. I don't think people realize how much kind of your life you give up to do this. Typical people go to school, they have jobs and kind of just live their life. While a lot of my friends were out doing stuff, activities they enjoyed, I was always either studying or some type of training to try to better myself, better our team. And so, like I said, I think that kind of gets overlooked sometimes, especially now when we're saying all these athletes are paid and everyone can have their opinion on that. So I want to thank them for recognizing me. Like I said, it's probably not just a recognition of myself, but of the team we had. I'm sure there's going to be multiple players off that team that will be in the Hall of Fame as well. I'm going to thank my parents. I'll thank them kind of throughout. because I felt like my route to Weber State kind of came differently than most. I graduated high school in 2003. I came up for a season before going on a mission and coming back, but I was originally recruited by Coach Graybill and Coach Sollers. And with a promise that when I came back, I would, have school and everything, have the scholarship. So went through that first year and did fine. And then I ended up serving a LDS mission to West Africa. Now, that's probably not the best place to serve a mission if you're trying to stay in shape, gain weight. And so even though now my physique, my build has never been the football type. I think I came back even smaller, about 135 pounds. And then trying to get back into shape and play was a very difficult time. First time I've broken bones. I tore my calves, wasn't able to play for a while. And a lot of people don't know that I almost gave up the opportunity because I was thinking it's too hard. I can't do it. But then there's my parents who, no matter what I did, supported me. It didn't matter if I played football or not. I think my mom probably preferred I didn't. That was kind of one of the things growing up was, no, you're not allowed to play football. So I played soccer and baseball until high school, and that's when I was allowed to play. And it worked out pretty well for me. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for kind of just all their support, just their love, their ability to shuffle all the kids around to their different activities and still show love individually and know how much they were there for us. So I want to say thank you for that. Sports in general, I'm grateful for in my life because talking about the hard times, it's something that I think it gets overlooked while you're playing, but it builds that character. It builds that perseverance to go through tough times. I graduated Weber State with a degree of athletic training, thinking I was going to do physical therapy. Played in the NFL for a few years, kept getting hurt, struggled through that, and finished and kind of felt lost. My wife's a physical therapist, and I realized that's kind of not the route I wanted. But I was determined to kind of make something of myself, and I ended up getting my nursing degree and worked in the ICU. And then COVID hits. So another tough time, a difficult time of not knowing what to do for these patients. And so I was grateful to have kind of my athletics background to kind of build that character, to be able to push through those hard times, seeing just death and kind of no success that I was seeing prior to that. And so I'm grateful for kind of, like I said, sports in general for that. It helped me to go on to get my nurse practitioner's degree. And now I work in an inpatient physical rehab facility where I feel like it's a blessing because I can pass on kind of that perseverance for these patients. They're going through a hard time. They have these ailments that have set them back, but apart from doing medicine, I'm able to kind of help encourage them and help motivate them to have a joyful life, get back to having a joyful life. And so I'm grateful for that sports aspect in me, that's been instilled in me. I think while at Weber State, so let's say I had 2 head coaches, 3 or 4 different offensive coaches, offensive coordinators, and 4 receiving coaches. And so again, tough times, but I appreciate every one of them. I don't think any one of them is here except Coach Grable from the start, but Coach Kevin McGivern, felt like he trusted in me and gave me the opportunity to perform. And so I was grateful for that. And then my last 2 years, I was able to get a receivers coach to stay with me, and as Steve Cox, and he kind of helped prepare me to deal with what the NFL would be like, because it's just a little bit different. It's a business, and not just for joy. Like I said, I'm grateful for every experience I've had in my life. I'm hoping that everything I've learned, everything I've gone through, that I have a beautiful family now, that I can help instill that in them. I have 4 little ones. The oldest is 7. I have almost 5-year-old twins and a 2-year-old girl that is a Spitfire. And hopefully I'm able to help them learn how to succeed in life, just learn how to push through difficult times. So, and I wanted to mention stability. What I was thinking about when I was thinking about the speech, what I wanted to say is, I had all that instability, and there's like a couple things were a constant besides family. Was Tom Shirtliff was a constant in the equipment room. He was always there, always someone we could talk to and joke around with. And Big E, when he was here, the same thing. And so there's so many people that I've met and that have touched my lives, and I'm just very grateful for that. I'm grateful for kind of the kids I was able to meet throughout the program and kind of bring them joy, to see how much they love the game and just love watching us play. So everyone I've missed or not mentioned their names, it's not any less of gratitude that I have in my heart for everyone here in Ogden. And so I appreciate this honor, and I'm thankful for everything. Thank you.
Congratulations, Tim. Can we give one more round of applause for all 5 of our wonderful inductees? So great to hear from each one of you and the memories and accomplishments that you have made in your lives. You'll always be a big part of our history here at Weber State. I would now like to introduce or bring up the chairman of our Hall of Fame committee is Curtis Breitweiser, and Curtis has done this for a long time, and he is the chair of our Hall of Fame committee.
Thanks, Paul. First off, I want to thank Paul and Carrie and Tim and Brad and Jerry and everybody that's allowed me to continue to do this for a little while. I keep saying I'm going to quit, and they won't let me. And I'm glad they don't, because it's one of the most biggest honors in my life is to be associated with these athletes as we put them in the Hall of Fame. They pay the price in blood, sweat, and tears like you cannot believe. And you touched on that a little bit, Tim. And I love the hair. I miss the hair. But truly, for example, it wasn't mentioned tonight, but Joe Bolomboy, for example, was 3rd in the country out of about 350 Division I schools. That's thousands of basketball players in rebounding. 3rd. And we got to watch him every night, every few nights up here at the D Event Center, as we did with many of you. I remember, that catch right there. I think that was at Cal Poly, and I was there when you caught that. But it's been an honor. When we talk about putting these people in the Hall of Fame, we have a pretty strict criteria for putting people in the Hall of Fame. They have to have been in school and then have been out of school for at least 8 years, so they don't get immediately put in. And they have to set records. They have to have been Big Sky champions or All-Americans. So not anybody gets to get into this Hall of Fame. It is a very select, elite group. And we have had literally thousands and thousands of athletes that have gone through Weber State. So when we talk about, what was the number, Paul, 151? That's a really small group of athletes. So the fact that some of you have had to wait your turn or whatever, just know that not only that we haven't forgotten you, but you are very deserving. Very deserving. Nobody gets into the Hall of Fame without being very deserving. And it's really an honor to be able to be a part of this and see how appreciative you are about us putting you in and stuff. Believe me, it's not us putting you in, it's you earning your way into the Hall of Fame. And I think that's a really cool thing. Sure, we're not the SEC or the ACC or the Pac, well, I can't say Pac-12, who knows what that they are. But here at Weber, we still compete against some pretty big schools, and we hold our own a lot of times. And as a fan, that's what's really cool for me is, for example, like I didn't have anything to do last week, so I've been down to Louisiana and Texas watching the football team, and a couple weeks before that I was in Seattle, and so I just can't get enough of this Weber State thing. But I really appreciate it. And as my final thing to do tonight, it's to honor you with your plaques, these replica plaques that will also be, as was mentioned, up in the D-Event Center. And I hope you all get a chance to go and read through those and look at all the people that we've put in. Some pretty neat honorees. And Dick, way to persevere through that. You did a great job tonight. Thanks. Great job. And, yep. And Brad and Tim, maybe we ought to bring back skiing. What do you think? Yeah. Bring back skiing, Dick? I think so. And we also have probably some future Hall of Famers in this room as well. I probably don't have to mention names, but Carrie, can you come help me a little bit? Or you're going to help me, Paul. And could we have all the inductees come up then? One more time. Dick, Tim. You know, we called you Touchdown Timmy. Don't you remember that? Yeah, we did. And if we can just keep them right here, we got President to say a few words, so come on over here.
Okay, I get to do closing remarks really quickly, but I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you, Curtis, and the great work that your committee does, and Paul and Carrie and everyone in the athletics department. But I really want to congratulate our inductees. Dick, you've set a great legacy for skiing, and not just what you did as a student athlete at Weber State, but throughout our community, and we appreciate that so much, the impact it's had on Ogden Collie. Thank you you have established that culture. And thank you for bringing that coach with you, whoever she was. I can't think of her name right now. No, Coach Amacone's awesome. Sariah, you deserve to be the athlete of the meet at that tournament. We all know that. But just watching Sariah, as someone who tries to run a little bit, seeing her dominate the local running scene too after her career as a student athlete, it's just amazing what you do, and it truly is inspiring. And Tim, my favorite play all time of Weber State football is that 95-yard punt return in the snow. It's a hell of a lot better than whatever happened in Provo last Saturday night because you didn't drop the ball and misjudge it and everything like that. It was just, I think that just sums up who you are to fighting all the odds and getting across the goal line there. And Joel, you may have been a colt, but when you can jump out of the gym from day one, we know it's something special. And thank you for developing and sharing your talent with all of us at Weber State. So thank you again, everyone. Hope you have a great evening. We look forward to celebrating you all again at the football game tomorrow night at halftime and having you join us there. But thank you, everyone here tonight, for being such a great part of our Weber State family. Weber State, great, great, great. Go Wildcats.